Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's another week, another weekly outlook video. As usual, we start with DXY. DXY, this is what we had last week. As you can see, we closed the week as an inside back candle. We did not take out previous week high, nor did we take out previous week low. And most of the time, anytime you have an inside back candle, normally find that that price action is a bit choppy or rangy. Before we proceed, starting October 12th, we have online classes for ICT traders, intermediate and advanced. So these are some of the topics that we are going to cover. So if you're interested, check the link in the description box below to register for the classes. Apart from the classes, you'll also become a member of my Telegram community where I normally share my trade ideas. These are some of the examples of the trade ideas I share. I share the PDRAs I'm watching and how I anticipate the market to move, whether bullish, bearish, and also reasons as to why I think the market is bullish or bearish. So DXY on the daily time frame. So first of all, this is what we were expecting last week. We wanted to see price tag this daily fair value gap, and then we get bullish move, or we come to this daily fair value gap and this weekly order block before we get the bullish move. But as you can see, last week price action was slow, so we ended up just retracing, and this is where we are stuck. Despite price violating this fair value gap, we still had this daily fair value gap here, and we still had this weekly order block. So I do not change my bias just so easily or simply because I feel like the market is moving against me. I have reasons for changing bias. So my bias still remains the same as last week. So I'm watching this, but again, we have this order block here. The order block is all the way to here. So this key level is really sensitive for our bias. If we violate these key levels here, then definitely that means I'll need to change my bias and I'll be looking at bearish price moves. But as of now, as long as price does not violate these levels here, I'm still looking at bullish DXY. So let's look at USDCHF. So USDCHF last week, we had marked this fair value gap and we also had this tiny fair value gap. Actually, I wanted to see price tag this, then give us bullish moves. I wanted to even see price leave this as a breakaway gap. But of course, we did not. As you can see, we already tagged this fair value gap here, and we've also tagged this daily order block. So, and price is stuck here within this daily fair value gap. So let's look at the weekly time frame. So on the weekly, as you can see again, we for USDCHF, we closed as an inside week candle. We did not take out previous week high. We did not take out previous week low. So the same as DXY. So let's look at the daily. So on the daily time frame, as you can see, we have this order block which was tagged by price. This fair value gap was also tagged by price. And we have this fair value gap, and this is where price is at the moment. So I honestly want to see us just get bullish moves from here because we have no reason at all to go back, to go lower, because we've already tagged the order block and we've also tagged this fair value gap. So I want to see bullish moves from here. So let's look at GBPUSD. So GBPUSD last week, this is what we wanted to see. But as you can see, again, the whole week, price was slow. We're stuck here, but you can see price has not yet violated this daily fair value gap. All the candles you can see are closing inside this daily fair value gap. The wicks can do whatever it wants. The wicks do the damage, but the bodies tell the story. So let's look at this week weekly outlook. And starting with the weekly, you can see previous week high, previous week low is still intact. So we closed the week as an inside back candle, just the same as DXY. So GBPUSD, I'm still holding on to my bias, and I want to see this daily fair value gap push price lower. As you can see, this is where price is at the moment. So that is what I'm expecting this coming week. So let's look at EURUSD. So the previous weekly outlook video, this is what we wanted to see. And as you can see, currently at the moment, that's what price did the whole week basically. So let's look at what price is likely to do this coming week. So if you look at the weekly time frame, again, inside week, we did not take out previous week high or previous week low. So if you look at the daily, we are still within this daily fair value gap. I want to see price go lower from this daily fair value gap. So let's look at the yen basket. So our last weekly outlook video, we wanted to see price use this fair value gap to push price lower. But clearly, as you can see, price had other plans. We retraced all the way to this weekly fair value gap. So let's look at what price is likely to do this coming week. So if you look at the weekly time frame, this is what price did last week. This is the bullish move that we had last week. price has tagged this weekly fair value gap. So as long as price does not violate this weekly fair value gap, I am still bearish for yen basket. So I'm watching this. If we violate this fair value gap, then that's the time I would think of bullish moves. But as of now, where we stand, I'm still bearish. So let's look at GBP JPY. So GBP JPY and yen basket, they're negatively correlated. So last week, this is what I wanted to see. But as you can see clearly, we still violated this inversion fair value gap, got this bearish move, and we had a bearish week the whole week. So let's look at what price is likely to do this coming week. So GBP JPY on the weekly time frame, so far this is what we have. As you can see, we have this consecutive bearish candle. The moment we closed above it with this bullish candle, this became an order block. So as you can see, price has tagged this OB and we are still just within this order block. So I'm still bullish for GBP JPY. And then, of course, I am depending on what the yen basket will do. So the yen basket will also somehow help me determine the next likely bias for GBP JPY. But as of now, I'm still watching here. So if we violate this order block here, then there's a high probability that we're going for bearish moves. But as of now, I'm still looking at a bullish GBP JPY. So let's look at the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, as you can see, this is what we had. Right now we have this volume imbalance and we also have this fair value gap here. So if you're going to get bearish moves, then price might use this to push price lower, or we might retrace to this fair value gap here before we get bearish moves. However, if you're going to get bullish moves, then I would want to see price violate this daily fair value gap and we use it to push price higher. And my target would be this buy side liquidity up here if that happens. If we're going to get bearish moves, then all these sell side liquidity are potential targets that the market could go for. So that is how it is, guys. There are some weeks where price is not so clear. You see situations where how price can give you both bullish and bearish moves. And then there are some weeks when it's so clean one direction, either bullish or bearish. So let's look at gold. Gold, of course, last week we were expecting bullish moves. So let's start with the weekly time frame. On the weekly, we have this fair value gap that was left behind by price. But I'm sure by now you know anytime we're at all-time highs like gold right now, price never reaches to these weekly fair value gaps. As you can see, we've been leaving breakaway gaps. So still, I'm not expecting that the market will come all the way here. So if you look at the daily time frame, we have this daily fair value gap, which was tagged on Thursday, and then Friday we got this bullish move, and we have this order block here. So this coming week, again, because we're at all-time highs, I'm still expecting more bullish moves. We might retrace to this order block before we give the bullish move, or we might fail to tag this order block and we just get bullish move. So let's look at NAS 100. So if you look at the weekly time frame, we are just bullish, all-time highs, and we have this order block here. This fair value gap, as you can see, it was left as a breakaway gap. That is expected when price is at all-time highs, and we also have this fair value gap right here, this tiny fair value gap. But again, I'm not expecting that we might retrace all the way to this key level here. For now, this order block is a good point to watch if the market is going to retrace. So let's look at the daily. On the daily time frame, as you can see, we have this daily fair value gap here. Our weekly order block is right here, and we have these consecutive bearish candles, 1 2 3. The moment we closed above them with this one here, this has made an order block. So this consecutive make the daily order block, and as you can see, price has tagged this daily fair value gap and these are daily OB. So I'm expecting that these might be used to push price higher, or we might still get more retracement to this weekly OB before we get our bullish move. Remember, we are at all-time highs, so I don't want to trade against all-time highs bias. So that is all I'd prepared for this week, guys.